Moving your business online. Vital information about online business safety. We're going to get right into online business safety. Touch on the local laws that would be applicable to your business. Applicable local laws. Here in the Cayman Islands, we don't have very many laws that specifically address e-commerce or the e-commerce process, because it's still something that's quite new to us. Essentially, sometimes you have to take guidance from international laws, depending on the level of e-commerce service that you're planning to provide. Overall, the primary laws that you have to bear in mind and get familiar with. However, once you have the proper terms and the proper conditions and policies on your website, you don't have to dwell on the possibilities of lawsuits and court proceedings and so forth. That's the thing about e-commerce. It really allows you to protect your business in advance. So the Cayman Islands Data Protection Law, and this is what comes into effect when you're processing all of this personal information that your clients are willfully giving you. And essentially, the data protection law relates to that information that you're going to put into your privacy policy or your privacy statement. Your privacy policy and privacy statement will guide how user information is handled, processed, and utilized. And the data protection law gives the provisions for what a user can do once they have provided that information through your website. Fines for non-compliance, especially breaches of user data. If that was to ever happen through your website, the fines can be up to $100,000. So this is why online business safety is extremely important. However, those fines are something that you don't have to worry too much about when you ensure that you are totally transparent with your customer, client, aka site user, ahead of time through having a thorough, well-defined privacy policy. The Cayman Islands has an electronics transaction law, and that came into effect in the year 2000. Essentially, the law primarily covers the acknowledging the validity of electronic records, because up until that time, we were doing just about everything with paper, so there had to be a law that authenticated electronic records, such as scanned agreements, that it allows the scanned document to be just as valid as the physical document in your hand, for example. This law also acknowledged and made legitimate electronic signatures. So it recognized and validated the electronic signature at that time, which is still applicable, of course, to us now. And it also acknowledged the electronic storage of records. So essentially, it made e-business more real. Your electronic receipts that are generated through your website are just as valid as a printed receipt that comes up from your receipt printer. the areas of that law that primarily mention e-commerce and e-business are paragraph 32, which discusses the liability of an e-commerce service provider. Paragraph 39, which discusses or provides the powers of the governor and council to establish an e-business board. And part 9, which is the code of practice for businesses that operate through e-commerce. So it's thus far the only law that really specifically deals with e-commerce in Cayman, and it's quite thorough. So for the Cayman Islands, it is sufficient. By having the proper terms, conditions, disclosures, and disclaimers on your e-commerce website, you can protect your business from any proceedings that would fall under this law. So when you're doing your own website and you're having that developed, you have to make sure that you have these terms, conditions, and policies on your site to protect your business and to protect your customers. And I'll properly list those policies for you so that you know exactly which ones you should have, and that's just coming right up. And also, if you want a copy of these laws for your own records and to review, just go ahead and get in touch with us. The contact information will be provided. They're good to know and they're good to have.